You're broke and you're watching this video because you want to make $1 million. I have made $1 million. Okay. I have verifiable proof of that as well. You can go to my Instagram account anytime, DM me. I'll literally show you my bank accounts. I'll literally show you my bank statements. I have nothing to hide. I am making this video. There's no course link in the bio. There's no mentorship program you should join. Even though I offer it, I don't care if you join or not. I don't make money from my programs. If you want to make $1 million, watch this video. This will be the most profitable 15-20 minute video you will ever watch in your entire life. Guaranteed. This is my system that I've used my whole life within my marketing and business career. And I'm just going to give it to you for absolutely $0.00. Thank you so much and enjoy the video. Let's get into it. The reason I'm making this video in the first place is to leave a legacy behind. When I die, when I go to the graves, there's a video out there that can teach someone that was just like me, a broke bag boy at a grocery store, to make $1 million. This is that video that's going to allow you to go out there and do it. Okay, so now listen, I have a nice little cool diagrammatic presentation for you guys to watch while I narrate this kind of sequence of events. This might be breaking down into 2 parts depending how long I think it is. We're going to stop at the 20-minute mark. Let's get into it. So the first thing you need to understand is that you are broke, okay? Whether you have $10,000 in savings, $1,000, $5,000, or whatever, you are probably broke compared to these other rich people that are out there, kind of like me, kind of like, other entrepreneurs that are really just making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. You're pretty broke. In the next sequence of going from broke, you don't go from broke to rich. There's like 5 sequences you go through. So the second part is you're developing. You're developing into a new character. You're developing into someone that is going to be evolved. If I was to sit myself 5 years ago into this table, into this chair, he wouldn't be able to comprehend or even, perform the way that I'm performing right now. It's because I developed into the person I am. I didn't just become that person I am. So I'm developing. You're developing. As soon as you're broke, you start developing. And once you're developing, you fail. Okay, that's another news flash for you guys, is that you don't just freaking succeed the first time. This isn't the lottery, You're going to fail multiple freaking times before you ever actually see success. So when you fail, the next part is you learn from those mistakes. You learn from those failures. So you learned, okay? And after you learned, then at that point you won, okay? Meaning that you have to go through these 5 steps. Let's break it down one more time. It's for you guys to be able to be successful. You're broke, you develop, and then once you develop, you failed, and once you failed, you learned, and then once you learned, then you win. Simple as that, okay? Now, going into it, the road to your first 100K. A lot of people are retarded. You don't listen to a lot of people, okay? Listen to what this video has to say. You don't need to be $1 million earner in the first year ever doing entrepreneurship, okay? I comfortably made $500,000 in 2020, and my life still has not changed, even though I made double, triple, quadruple that, okay? My life has not changed. The quality of life hasn't changed. $500,000 was just as cool as a couple $1 million. Just now I have more assets. Now I have more longevity. I can put things in other places, and I can feel comfortable giving my mom $10,000 for Mother's Day. Simple as that. So now I love the fact that we can go to $0 to $1 million in the next 2 years. How about that? Let's make it easy for you. And it's way more easier to comprehend if we have a 2-year $1 million goal for you to go out there and achieve it. So let's just say we have 24 months and 2 years, and each month you need about $41,666 per month in the next 24 months to go out there and become a millionaire, which is not too hard. I'm going to explain why and explain how. Your monkey brain probably doesn't understand it. I mean, it's not your fault. No one, told you that $41,000 is not that hard to make. When you're a laborer, when you're a slave, when you're a freaking minimum wage worker, it sounds a lot. But when you are thinking differently, like I told you before, you have to develop into the person that you have to become to be a millionaire. Once you develop to that person, you're going to realize that it's just a numbers game. How many people, how many communications, how many conversations, how many hands can we shake to the point where we make $41,000 a month? And this is how I'm going to explain to you guys in this video how you're going to do that. So next thing you know, let's break it down even more. In the next 30 days, you made $41,666, but that's $1,388 per day. So let's say you work, 8 hours. Okay, let's say you work 8 hours. Cool. So in those 8 hours, how much money do you need to make per hour? And that is $173 per hour. And let me be the first one to say that this is not hard at all. Consultation calls alone could be $173 per hour. You lock in 8 consultation calls per hour, you made it. And let's just say you want to work 12 hours. This number could easily go down to like 120, 130. So you get the idea. We're trying to make $1,400 per day. We're trying to make $173 per hour. Okay. And that's after expenses, which is not hard at all. We have to sell a package probably for $250 every hour for the next 8 hours. And it's not rocket science. I promise you that. So let's get into it. So here's a game plan. I'm just going to go straight to the point. This is what I've done. And I when I was broke, I broke down these numbers, right? When I was developing in my developing phase, I was telling myself, hey man, what will it take for me to, make $1 million in 2 years? And I came up with this game plan, and I used this game plan. I didn't change my game plan. And now the game plan has been able to get to the point where I achieved the goal, I achieved the target, which is awesome. So now here's the game plan. What the F do I have to make or do to make $173 an hour? That's the real question, right? What can I sell that I can make $173 an hour? And you'd be surprised. You probably spent 15 years as a doctor doing and learning brain surgery to one day earn $173 an hour. Okay, that's the 99% of people that are probably watching this video, is that they're thinking that they have to be a brain surgeon to make $173 an hour, which is complete BS. Then they probably don't even make that, honestly. I'll be honest with you. So, wink, wink. You don't have to be a brain surgeon. You don't have to spend 15 hours out of your life to go out there and learn and educate yourself to one day earn $173. And let's be honest here, $173 isn't nothing crazy. It's not freaking, a lot of money. It's really not. So this is what I would recommend anyone that's watching this video to do, is to start a marketing agency. Please don't go into e-com. Please don't go into drop shipping. Please don't go into any of these stupid freaking business models that don't pay you. This is the one business model that works, and it works really well because there's no freaking risk. You only make the amount of time that you spend on this marketing agency, and I'll teach you how to use your time. Instead of having 8 hours per day, you will have 80 hours per day. Sounds crazy, but it's true, and I'm going to explain everything. Just keep watching this video. So we're starting a marketing agency, okay? I don't care. I would tell my mom to start a marketing agency. If anyone was broke on the street, I would literally tell them to start a marketing agency and thank me later, okay? We sell packages for $200 to $500 a month, meaning that these guys are recurring subscriptions. I make this much money every single client, and they just keep paying me on a recurring basis, meaning that if I had 200 clients, divide that by 30. If I had 300 clients, divide that by 30. That's 10 clients per day. That's the exact number that we need to get, is about 300 clients per month. And that's not hard at all. Let me explain. To make $1,300 a day, we have to get about 5 people to buy a package from us for approximately $200 to $500 around that number. Okay. That's $1,388 per day. Okay. You got Joe, Susan, Sally, Smith, John. You get the idea. Okay. They all spent about $250, $300, $200, $400, $100. You get the idea. You get what I'm trying to say here. So $1,388 per day is what we're trying to hit, and it's not easy. Don't get me wrong. These people are going to ask questions, and they're going to ask questions that you probably don't know the answers to, and they're going to give you a run for your money. They're not going to give it to you and hand it over. My clients hand it over because I built a relationship with them, but they're not going to hand it over in the first conversation. This is a dating game. It's a long-term game. It's a relationship game. I think of sales as a relationship, not a sailing game, but a relationship building game. How many relationships can you build within the time that you're doing sales is the real question. So now, for example, we didn't lock these 5 people in on the first call, okay? Meaning that these people came after taking multiple calls out of that day. So on estimate, you lock in one person out of talking to every 5 to 6 people. One person actually buys. And you don't just sell them on text messages. You get on video consultation calls with these people. So let's just say Sally took about 5 calls to close. This John guy took 3 calls to close, because you had to call 3 people. Out of the 3 people, John was one of them, and he bought a package. The other 2 people never bought anything. That's what I'm trying to explain. I took about 5 calls to call. It took about 5 calls to lock in Gabriel. John or Smith here you had to take 7 calls to lock in Smith. You get the idea. All these numbers come out to about 26 calls. You have to take 26 calls to lock in your first 5 clients, okay? And that's what I'm trying to show you here, is that you don't just lock in the clients when you get on calls with them. You have to take 25 calls just to lock in 5 people. That's the real goal. So if you can have 25 conversations, 26 conversations within a day, each of them taking about 15 to 30 minutes, which is not easy because that's a long time. That's like about 10, 12 hours of calls. Then you will freaking crush. You will crush. You will crush. Let's say each of the calls, like I said, took 10 minutes each. Okay. And each of the calls took 10 minutes. You're looking at about 260 minutes of time that you had to spend on the phone. That's about 4.3 hours of talk time, meaning that it took you about 4 hours to have all those conversations. The major problem with this 4.3 hours, right, is that you can't move your mouth fast enough to lock in clients. Okay, simple as that. This is the major problem. That's the only reason that we're not scaling this company to $1 million in the first year is you can't physically have that many conversations in a day. So if you do put 4.3 hours every day for 2 years, you're going to fail. Honestly, you can't sit there and take 25 calls every single day for 365. If you do this for every day, as much as I think I'm a robot, I'm really not. And you won't be either. You won't be able to kind of compete with people like me. I'm a very freaking hard worker, but I still know that I can't take 4.3 hours of talk time every single day. That's not possible. So what's the solution here? It's just how am I going to succeed when I don't have enough time in my day or I don't have enough time and energy to go out there and really succeed in this. This is the thing. Solution. So we have two options here. Do it all yourself, okay? Or let's say you don't want to scale it up an entire year, okay? You can by all means in 2 years take 4.3 hours per day and just go for 2 years and just freaking struggle. But what if I was to tell you, hey, you can do it in 1 year? What if I was to tell you that, hey, you don't need to wait a year, 2 years? What if I was to tell you that maybe you don't have to spend 4.3 hours of talk time every freaking day to lock in these clients? You hire a team to do the work for you. You freaking welcome. This is the one thing I learned about freaking entrepreneurship is that building a team will get you places that you will never be able to go yourself. And that's a guarantee. So what if I told you can hire people to do it for you? Okay, you can literally hire someone to get on a call, do the same pitch as you are, and sell them the same thing that you're selling them and never have to talk to that client ever in your life. So this is you, Mr. Magical Weird Guy with red hair, okay? Now, this is you. This is Bob, Joe, and Dan, okay? Bob, Joe, and Dan take 25 calls each. You were only taking 25 calls yourself, okay? Now you got 3 people to take 25 calls for you. That's 75 calls you're going to take 3 times the amount of more calls every single day because you hired 3 guys for you. Now, you're going to have a problem, though, okay? This is the major problem with hiring a team, and this is just $1 million advice. No one's going to give you this. I don't even know why I'm giving you guys this. You probably won't even be able to comprehend this. But your team, they won't close as effectively as you because they don't care as much as you. It's not their company. They're a sales agent, and they get paid for their time. They get paid for the sales they bring in. But at the end of the day, they're not going to close as effectively as you. If I was to jump on a sales call versus one of my team members, obviously I would have the upper advantage because I am more skilled at what I do. Sales team is cool. Sales team is good. But at the end of the day, they don't have that extra kick in the step like you will have. So they won't close as much as you. And that's not a bad thing. So let's just say, for example, you were closing a 5-to-1 ratio, meaning that every person that was buying from you, one of them was buying. Or if 5 people were calling you, one person was buying, you might have to double that number. And every 10 people that your team calls, one person might buy. And this will improve with time, by the way, your leads, especially when your sales team starts learning how to really go out there and sell and, learn through failure, learn through actually getting in the field and really just trying to lock these clients in. But you'll run into another problem. Oh my goodness, these problems just keep coming, right? This is you think $1 million is easy? You think $1 million is just something that comes into your freaking pocket? No, you're gonna freaking run into problems. And I'm talking from experience here. Is I ran into these problems myself, so I know what these problems are, and I know what you're gonna face. So your sales team will not stay loyal. They will move forward. So once you do train them, someone's gonna pick them up. They're gonna find a better deal. They're gonna find someone else that's doing better stuff for them or giving them better incentives or offer opportunities. They are looking always for better opportunity, meaning that if another person comes in like freaking Spectrum or some kind of Oracle, a sales team over there in freaking Microsoft and says, hey man, I'll give you a $200,000 salary plus, you take all the commissions you want. You can probably make $400,000 a year. The guy's not going to work for you anymore, bro. Trust me. So you got to be very careful on who you work with and definitely, just know that the sales game is not a game that's a long-term game. People come, people go. That's why you have to protect yourself. Loyalty is very, very important in sales. So now, for example, every 5 calls you took, you made 1 sale. Okay, we already understand that. So 25 calls equals 5 sales, and that's about $1,300 a day. Let's say Joe took 10 calls. Okay, every 10 calls he makes 1 sale, and out of each of the 25 calls that he made that day, he locked in 2 sales. That's about $400 a day. Same thing with the freaking Dan guy. He did $400 a day. Same thing with Bob. He made $400 a day. Each of these guys make approximately $400 a day after taking 25 calls, after doing a 10-to-1 conversion, which is really bad, by the way. So this number comes out to $2,500 a day if you get all of you guys together. Even if you start working, you're working and your team's working all at the same time, it's $2,500 a day. Okay, so there you go. You're welcome. I just taught you how to literally make $2,500 every single day by hiring a team, effectively showing you the conversion ratio of if you get them to lock in 1 sale every 10 calls, you're going to make $2,500 a day. Now, I teach this system in my website, ishmentorship.co. You could always take a look at it, see what I'm doing over there. Always hit me up on Instagram if you're interested. I learned this stuff, guys. This is not freaking rocket science. There is a lot of problems, though. You will run into a lot of issues. There's a lot of technical things when it comes to the back end as well. You need to understand that you can't just lock in and convince a guy to pay $300 unless you're not going to provide him a service that's going to be worth $300. That's something I teach in the My Mentorship program. I'm not trying to sell you. I'm just trying to show you that there's an opportunity to work and learn from me if someone is interested. So definitely maybe DM me on Instagram, Isha CEO with 2 I's in the start. Or you can kind of check out my link below and check it out. I don't want to sell you. I'm not trying to sell you. It's just there for you if you need it. Okay, simple as that. I'm going to stop plugging. But thank you so much for watching. And yeah, man, talk to you soon. Go start a marketing agency. It'll be the best investment you ever made in your entire life. That's a guarantee.